Summer is around the corner, and it's not just vacation season, it's also wedding season. June through September are the most popular months of the year to get married. And you may have already received a few invitations in the mail to celebrate your friend or family member's nuptials. And it's exciting to be able to join in the fun and to celebrate their love. But if you start adding up the costs, especially if it requires you to travel, it can get expensive to be a guest of a wedding, especially if you have multiple events to attend. In fact, a survey from Credit Karma found that average wedding guest dishes out $770 to attend a friend or family's wedding. Now that's a lot of money. I have a few tips to help you cut back without skimping on the fun. This way you get to go and celebrate with everyone while also keeping some extra money in your pocket. First is travel. A lot of weddings these days happen to be destination merely because people move away and get married in different towns and states than where they grew up from. So that may require you to fly or drive to that destination and most likely get a hotel for the night. Don't assume that the block of rooms the bride and groom reserved for their party is going to be the best rate. You're going to get a group code and you'll assume that they negotiated a super deal for their guests. But sometimes you can find an even better deal by looking online. So compare prices at booking.com, hotels.com, or just run a typical Google search, or even search the hotel's website to see if they have any specials on that weekend or weeknight, whenever it is that wedding is being hosted. It actually happened to me on my wedding. One of my guests told me that they found a Groupon deal that happened to be $100 less than the group rate that I secured for my friends. And I ended up telling everybody to go with the Groupon deal because it was so much better. So just make sure that you're checking out those deals. Otherwise, look at renting a condo or a house nearby. Sites like VRBO or HomeAway are great places to check, and you can go in with other friends and family members and make it a really fun celebration, but really cracking down on those costs. And another bonus, you get access to a kitchen, so you can prepare a lot of your own meals and save on food costs as well. Attire is another cost that I find a lot of people don't even think about when they are attending a wedding. But if you have several events to go to and it happens to be with your same social circle, you're not really going to want to wear that same dress, right? So think about buying dresses secondhand. Go to a local consignment store, or there are sites like The Real Real or Poshmark where you can find designer and name brand dresses at a fraction of the cost. If you're a bridesmaid, this is another great idea to cut down on those bridesmaid costs. Find out the dress designer and the size that you need and run a search online. There are so many sites like oncewed.com, Bridesmaids Exchange that sell gently used bridesmaids dresses. You can get it at a fraction of the price. Now, if the wedding requires black tie, that can get really expensive. So instead of purchasing a brand new designer dress, ask a friend or family member if they have something you could borrow. Instead of buying a new gown for that black tie event, you can rent one at sites like renttherunway.com. You can look at finding options anywhere in your budget, maybe $50 to $100 for the evening, instead of dishing out $300 or more for a fancy gown. Again, used options are great in this situation as well. What's really nice about sites like Rent the Runway, you're allowed to choose a couple of styles in different sizes, and you'll only get charged for one dress. And then you just throw it back in the bag and ship it back, and you don't even have to pay for shipping costs. Another big cost is the gift. A study by The Knot found that friends spend an average of $80 for a wedding gift, and family spend north of $150. Now, that all comes down to you and your budget, so don't feel like you have to follow etiquette in this situation. Spend what you can afford. You don't need to break your budget to pay for a gift. But with that being said, there's still so many opportunities to save and stretch your dollars and give a bigger gift for less. So one of my favorite ways to save on wedding gifts is to look for discount gift cards to the retailers a bride and groom may be registered at. So for instance, sites like Gift Card Granny, they aggregate discount gift cards, which are available through so many sites. There are sites like cardbowl.com, ABC Gift Card, Gift Card Castle, Raise. All these sites sell other people's unwanted gift cards at a discount, and you're looking at saving anywhere from 5 to 25% off the value of that gift card. So you can search for gift cards to Pottery Barn, Williams-Sonoma, Macy's, Bed Bath & Beyond. on. These are stores that I find that a lot of couples are usually registered for, so it makes it an easy way to save on that gift. Otherwise, you can just get a discount gift card and give that as the actual present and let the bride and groom choose their own present. Now, you can use a registry as a starting off point, right? You can see what types of items they want, maybe a small kitchen appliance, maybe a vacuum. What I would then recommend doing is doing a Google search online to see if you can find it for less at another retailer, or go to a warehouse store like Costco. I found deals where you're saving about 30% off compared to the regular retailers like Target, Walmart, and those. So you can definitely save on a gift that way. And if you're just cash strapped, don't feel like you have to buy a gift at all. You can get creative. Perhaps there's something that you can do or give to the bride and groom as the actual present. So for instance, if you have photography skills, maybe you can do their engagement shoot or their wedding pictures. Otherwise, if you are great at decorating cakes, maybe you can make their wedding cake. Or maybe you could dog sit while the bride and groom go off on their honeymoon. There's so many different things that you can do to provide a gift as a service instead of spending money. And don't forget, you always have a year to get a gift. So if you feel a little strapped because you just spent all this money on travel to attend the wedding in the first place, then maybe push it off a little and buy a gift in a few months when you have a little extra cash flow to cover it without having to go into debt and use a credit card. And then finally, if you get a bunch of invitations, you may feel overwhelmed and stressed and feel bad if you don't go to an event, but if it means putting your finances on the line and going into debt to attend a wedding, I think it's a little bit more important to focus on yourself. Figure out which weddings are the ones you really can't miss, and then maybe consider declining the others. And if you were thinking about going with a date, maybe go solo. You know, you're going to save on travel and you won't have to cover their gift. You can give something a little bit smaller. All right, well, those were some of my guest of wedding hacks, helping you survive wedding season on a budget. Let me know what you do to save on weddings. I'd love to hear from you.